My husband cheated with my best friend, so I let karma do the work. My best friend slept with my husband and acted like she won. Months later, she was bragging about dating a millionaire, a man who didn't exist. I didn't take her money. I just watched her reveal exactly who she was. Then I sent the screenshots to the one person she couldn't lie to. Here's the full story. My name is Brooke. I'm 33 years old, and I live in the US suburban, normal, the kind of place where people wave at neighbors and act like drama only happens on TV. I'm posting from a throwaway. Names and some small details are changed for privacy. The main events are real. If you asked me a year ago who the two safest people in my life were, I would have said my husband and my best friend without hesitation. That sentence is embarrassing now. My husband, Evan, 35M, and I had been married 7 years, together for 10. No kids by choice at first, then, maybe next year, then fertility tests that stressed us out so much, we decided to pause and just enjoy being a couple again. My best friend, Kara, 33F, had been in my life since college. She was the person who helped me pack for my first apartment, the person who sat with me through my mom's surgery, the person who knew every detail about my relationship because I told her everything. And yes, that's the first mistake, telling her everything. Kara is the kind of woman people describe as magnetic. She walks into a room and people notice, not because she's loud, but because she's confident in a way that makes others lean in. She also has this habit of turning everything into a story where she's the lead. Even your pain becomes her scene. I didn't mind when we were younger. I thought it was just personality. Some people are big. I didn't realize that big can become predatory when the right opportunity shows up. Evan and Kara met early. She was at our wedding. She cried in the front row. She gave a toast about how we were meant to be. After we got married, Kara became part of our routine. Sunday brunch. Holidays. Game nights. She'd stay late after gatherings and help me clean up while Evan put leftovers away. She was family. Or so I thought. The first red flag came about 2 years ago. Evan got a promotion. We went out with friends to celebrate. Kara drank too much and started complimenting Evan in this overly intense way. "Evan, you're literally the most reliable man I know," she said. "Brooke is so lucky." She touched his arm when she said it. I laughed awkwardly and said, "Yeah, he's a keeper." Kara looked at me with this smile that I didn't recognize at the time, too bright, too focused, and said, "If you ever mess this up, I'll take him." Everyone laughed like it was a joke. Evan laughed too. But it landed in my stomach like a pebble, and I carried it around for weeks. I mentioned it to Evan later. He shrugged. "Kara's just being Kara," he said. "She doesn't mean anything." I let it go, because that's what women are trained to do when someone makes things uncomfortable. We let it go so we don't become the problem. Then came the period where Evan and I were struggling. Nothing dramatic, but distant. Work stress, my fertility, anxiety, his long hours. We were tired. We stopped going on dates without realizing it. We started spending evenings on our phones next to each other like roommates. Kara noticed. She started texting me more, asking if I was okay, saying she missed me, offering to come over with wine. I thought she was being supportive. What she was doing was collecting information. Because the more I look back, the more I realize Kara wasn't checking in. She was mapping weak points. Then, one Saturday, I came home early from running errands and walked into my kitchen to find Evan and Kara standing close together by the counter. Not hugging, not touching, just too close. They jumped apart in this way that people do when they're not doing anything wrong but fear it looks wrong. Kara laughed too loudly. "Oh my God, Brooke, you scared me," she said, hand on her chest. Evan said, "We were just talking." "About what?" I asked, trying to keep my tone light. Kara answered quickly, "Your anniversary trip. I was telling him he should plan something romantic." She winked at me. It should have felt sweet. It felt staged. That night, Evan was distant. Kara texted me a meme like everything was normal. I told myself I was being paranoid. Then I found the message. It wasn't a text, it was an email. Evan had left his laptop open on the couch, and a notification popped up in the corner. I didn't go searching. I saw it because it was there. "Kara, last night was really hard. I keep thinking about you." My brain froze. Like a computer glitch. I stared at the screen, reading it again and again, waiting for it to become innocent. It didn't. I clicked it. I know that's wrong, I know. But I clicked it. The thread was long. Months. They were talking about me like I was a problem to manage. Kara wrote things like, "She doesn't appreciate you. You deserve someone who sees you. I hate watching her waste you." Evan wrote back, "I don't know what I'm doing. I feel trapped. You make me feel alive." Alive. That word, I felt like I'd swallowed ice. I sat down on the floor next to the couch, laptop in front of me, and read the whole thing like I was torturing myself. Then I heard Evan's key in the door. I closed the laptop slowly and stood up. He walked in smiling, then saw my face and froze. "What's wrong?" he asked. I held up my phone, where I'd taken photos of the emails. My hands were shaking. "Don't," I said quietly. "Don't lie." Evan's face went pale. "Kara," I said. "My best friend. Really?" He opened his mouth, then closed it. That silence was the confession. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just felt empty. I asked, "How long?" Evan whispered, "A few months." I nodded like I was absorbing it, but I wasn't. My brain was already jumping ahead. Our families, our friends, my life split in half. Then Evan said, "It wasn't supposed to happen." I laughed once. But it did. I told him to leave. He tried to argue. I said, "Leave or I call someone." He left. I sat in my kitchen alone, staring at the empty chair where he'd eaten dinner for years. Then my phone buzzed. Kara. She wrote, "Can we talk?" I stared at the message and felt my hands go cold, because the worst part wasn't that she wanted to talk. It was that she thought she could. Kara didn't apologize. Her first message after, "Can we talk?" was, "I didn't want you to find out like this." Like the problem was my method of discovery, not her betrayal. I replied one sentence, "Stay away from me." She called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail crying, saying she loved me and never meant to hurt me. Then she sent another text. Evan and I didn't plan it. It just happened. It just happened. The phrase people use when they want consequences to disappear. Evan texted too, asking to meet. I refused. I told him everything should go through a lawyer. I didn't even feel strong when I typed that. I felt like I was watching myself do something brave through glass. Over the next week, the betrayal expanded like mold. Mutual friends started acting weird. People stopped inviting me to things. I'd get vague messages like, "Hope you're okay." Then my cousin texted me, "Did you and Evan break up? Kara said you cheated first." I stared at the screen and felt my stomach drop. That's what they did after they betrayed me. They made a story where they were the victims. Kara told people I was emotionally abusive. Evan told his parents we were basically separated. They laid groundwork so their affair looked like destiny, not betrayal. I called my friend Liz and asked what was being said. Liz hesitated, then told me the truth. Kara was telling everyone she saved Evan from my coldness. Evan was quietly letting it happen. It was like being robbed and then blamed for leaving the door unlocked. I decided I wasn't going to fight in the group chat arena. I wasn't going to post a dramatic Facebook status. I did the simplest thing. I told people who mattered the truth privately, with receipts. I sent Liz screenshots of the email thread timestamps showing months of lying. Liz's tone changed. "Oh my God," she whispered. Then Liz said something that made my chest tighten. "Kara is moving in with Evan." 2 weeks after I found out, she moved into my marriage like it was her reward. The divorce moved fast, not because Evan was honorable, because he wanted to be free of consequences quickly. He offered a settlement that was almost fair. Almost. But there were little games. Trying to keep the nicer car. Trying to keep the dog. Trying to frame me as unstable, so I'd accept less just to escape. I got an attorney. I stayed calm. I didn't text Evan at 2 a.m. I didn't beg Kara to explain. I went quiet. Quiet is dangerous for people who rely on control. They can't predict you. Meanwhile, Kara started posting on social media. Not directly, but the captions were obvious. Sometimes you have to choose your happiness. When love finds you, don't let anyone shame you. New beginnings. And then, a month after I moved out, she posted a photo Evan's hand, her hand, a fancy dinner and the caption, "Love wins." I stared at it until my eyes burned. That wasn't just betrayal. That was performance. She wanted me to see it. She wanted the world to see her as the heroine. And the hardest part? Some people believed it. Because people like neat narratives. They don't like messy truth. I went through waves of grief and rage. Some nights I couldn't eat. Some mornings I woke up and my first thought was, how could she? My second thought was, how did I not see it? Then, in a moment of clarity that felt almost cruel, I realized something. Kara didn't take Evan because she loved him. Kara took Evan because she wanted to win. And winners don't stop at one prize. They keep playing. A few weeks after the divorce finalized, I ran into Kara at a grocery store. She looked like she'd been waiting for a scene. She smiled and said, "I hope you're okay." I stared at her and said, "Don't talk to me." Her smile tightened. "You're still angry," she said softly, like she was diagnosing me. I walked away. Later that night, Liz sent me a screenshot. Kara had been messaging a guy on Instagram, some flashy account with yachts and watches. Captioned, "Can't sleep. Thoughts?" Liz wrote, "Isn't that weird?" Kara told everyone she's so in love with Evan. I stared at the screenshot and felt something shift. It wasn't jealousy. It was understanding. Kara wasn't loyal to Evan. Evan was just the current trophy. And Kara had a weakness, status. Attention. Money. The idea of upgrading. That's when the seed of my catfish plan appeared not as a detailed scam, but as a simple test. Would Kara betray Evan the way she betrayed me? If she thought something shinier was available? I wasn't planning to take her money. I wasn't planning anything illegal. I wasn't trying to ruin her financially. I wanted proof. Proof that Kara wasn't in love. She was predatory. Proof that Evan didn't win. He was just next. So I did something I'm still conflicted about. I created a fake persona online. A wealthy, older businessman type. Not to steal, not to extort, not to ask for anything. Just to see how far Kara would go when she thought she could climb. And once I saw what she was willing to do, I planned to hand the truth to the person she cared about most, her audience. Because if Kara's power was narrative, then the only real revenge was truth. I need to be clear, I didn't do this like a professional scammer. I didn't create elaborate fake documents. I didn't ask for money. I didn't send links. I didn't try to get anything from Kara except her own words. I also know it was morally gray. I'm not pretending it was noble. I'm telling you what I did and why. The persona was simple. Grant, mid-40 entrepreneur, traveling, private life, minimal posts. The account followed a few luxury pages and a couple local restaurants to look believable. I didn't copy any real person's photos, no stolen identity. Then I waited. I didn't message Kara first. I liked one of her posts from Grant's account, just one. Within an hour, Kara followed back. Within 3 hours, she DM'd, "Hi, thanks for the follow. Love your travel pics." I stared at the message, heart pounding. Because Kara wasn't just curious. She was hunting. I replied with one line, "You seem fun. What do you do?" Kara responded immediately. She said she was in marketing. She wasn't. That she loved luxury travel. And that she was finally with someone who understands ambition. She didn't mention Evan. Not once. Over the next week, Kara messaged constantly. Flirty, eager, braggy. She asked where Grant lived, what he drove, what he did. She sent selfies. She called him mysterious. I kept responses short, never explicit, never graphic, just enough to let her talk. Then Kara said, "I'd love to grab drinks sometime. I'm not really tied down like that." Not tied down. She was living with my ex-husband and calling herself not tied down. I felt a cold smile spread across my face. Not because it was fun, because it was confirmation. I asked, as Grant, "Aren't you married?" Kara replied, "No, just out of a complicated situation. I'm single in the ways that matter." The way that matters. I screenshotted everything. Then I escalated the test. Still not illegal. Still not asking for anything. I said, "I'm in your city next month. Dinner?" Kara responded, "Yes." Then she added, "But I need discretion. My ex is unstable." Unstable. That's what she'd been calling me. I asked, "Why discretion if you're single?" Kara replied, Because I'm living with someone and it's messy. Don't judge. The amount of rage and relief I felt at once was hard to describe. Because the part of me that still questioned myself finally shut up. This wasn't true love. This was exploitation. Now here's where karma got involved, without me touching a thing. Evan saw Kara texting constantly. He asked who she was talking to. Kara lied and said, "A friend." Evan checked her phone one night. He found the messages. And instead of confronting her privately like an adult, Evan did what cheaters do. He panicked and went into surveillance mode. He logged into Kara's account from their shared laptop. He saw Grant. He saw the dinner plan. He saw Kara calling herself not tied down. Then Evan emailed me. Not to apologize. To blame me. He wrote, "Did you set Kara up? Are you seriously still obsessed with us?" I stared at the email, laughing in disbelief. Because he didn't ask, "Why is my girlfriend cheating?" He asked, "How are you ruining my life?" I replied once, "I didn't tell Kara to message anyone. She did that herself." Then I attached one screenshot Kara saying she was single in the ways that matter. And then I wrote, "Leave me alone." Evan didn't reply. But 2 days later, Liz texted me, "Kara and Evan had a huge fight. She's telling people you're stalking her." Of course she was. So I made the next move. I ended the catfish. I sent Kara one message from Grant. "I'm not interested in someone who lies. Take care." Then I blocked her. No money, no meeting, no drama. Just her words recorded. Kara immediately posted a story about toxic exes who can't move on. She was trying to preempt the narrative. But now I had receipts. And the best part about receipts is they don't care about her tone. I didn't want to blast everything online. I'm not a public humiliation person. But Kara had already publicly humiliated me with love wins. So I chose a surgical exposure. I sent the screenshots to 2 people. Liz, who already knew, Kara's sister, who I was friendly with for years and who had been messaging me privately saying she missed me. Kara's sister responded, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I can't even defend this." Then she asked, "Did Evan see this?" I said, "Yes, he emailed me." Kara's sister replied, "This is going to implode." And she was right. Kara's image was everything to her. She didn't just want Evan. She wanted the story. Best friend becomes soulmate, love wins, fairy tale. So when that image cracked, she panicked. Evan moved out for a week. Kara posted sad quotes. Friends got dragged in. People started taking sides. Then Kara's sister did something I didn't expect. She confronted Kara publicly at a family dinner, apparently, and told their parents what Kara had done. Kara's parents didn't disown her or anything dramatic, but they stopped being supportive of her narrative. And without family support, Kara's hero story became harder to sell. Evan, meanwhile, did what predictable men do when they realize they're not special. He tried to come back to me. He texted, "I messed up." I didn't respond. He called, voicemail. He showed up at my apartment building. Security turned him away. Then he emailed, "We can talk like adults." I finally replied with one line, "Adults don't cheat. Do not contact me." That should have been the end. But Kara wasn't done either. She messaged me from a burner account. "Congrats, you ruined it. Happy now?" I stared at the message and felt something calm settle. Because no, I didn't ruin it. She did, again. I replied once, "You ruined it when you chose betrayal. Leave me alone." Then I blocked her too. 2 weeks later, Liz invited me for coffee and gave me the update. Evan had moved back in with Kara. They were working on it. Kara was blaming me publicly for harassment. Evan was telling people I was crazy. Classic. They needed a villain to glue themselves together. But the damage was done. Their friends knew Kara was shopping for upgrades, and Evan knew he wasn't the prize. That kind of knowledge doesn't disappear. Then karma hit in the most mundane way. Kara got sloppy. She showed the Grant messages to a mutual friend to brag. Before she realized it was fake, she was trying to prove she was desirable. The mutual friend recognized the account style as fake and called her out. Word spread. People laughed. Kara's magnetic image turned into desperate. And Evan? He looked like a man who left his wife for someone who embarrasses him. That's what cheaters fear most, not guilt. Looking foolish. Kara posted one final dramatic message. Some women will never move on. I didn't respond. I just lived my life. Here's where I'm conflicted. On one hand, Kara destroyed my marriage. Evan participated fully. They deserved consequences. On the other hand, catfishing is messy. It's deceptive. It's not who I want to be. I didn't take money. I didn't try to ruin careers. I didn't expose anything private that wasn't already becoming public, but I did manipulate the situation to reveal the truth. Was I wrong? My therapist, yes, I once said something I think is accurate. What you did wasn't healthy, but it was understandable. The better question is, what do you do next? So here's what I did next. I stopped watching them. I blocked every mutual who kept updating me. I deleted the folder of screenshots from my phone after saving only what I needed for legal purposes, divorce paperwork. I focused on rebuilding. I started dating again, slowly, with better boundaries. I rebuilt friendships that weren't built on gossip. I learned that the person who steals your husband is not better than you, she's just more willing to betray. Evan sent one last email 3 months ago, I miss you. I didn't reply. Kara still posts quote graphics about betrayal. The irony is impressive. So, Aita for catfishing my former best friend with a fake millionaire after she stole my husband? Because sometimes I feel guilty about the method. But then I remember Kara's caption, "Love wins." And I realize, love didn't win. Ego did. And all I did was hold up a mirror. So Aita for catfishing her after she destroyed my marriage? What would you have done? Subscribe for more Reddit-style stories.